Good evening, everyone. I was gonna put some HTV on some tumblers tonight, so I thought maybe I would take a moment to show you how I do it. I'm making a few tumblers with the big letter and the name going across here, and I hate that you have to put the letter on, put the epoxy on, then come back and put the name across and epoxy again. So I was trying to come up with something that would eliminate one of the epoxy steps. And I put the just plain letter on here and then went back across with regular vinyl, but you could still see the crease. So that wasn't what I was looking for. So then I decided to try glitter HTV. This isn't the Cricut kind. If you do use the Cricut kind, make sure that you seal it because it will bleed and ruin your project. So anyway, I guess this is, I don't know if it's Sizer or Caesar, however people pronounce it. I got it at Antioch Graphics. Anyway, that worked really great. So that's what we're going to do. This one I've already put the C on. So that shows you how it looks. Sorry, my camera's kind of goofy. This next one, I've already put the C on as well, but I haven't put the name on. So I was just going to show you. First, you're going to make sure that everything is where it needs to be, and it's straight. You can pull this off. I did one earlier, and I didn't like the way it looked. Actually, I burned the letter, so I wanted to peel it off, and it took me a very long time to do that. So basically, what I use is this little iron, a little craft iron that I got from Michael's. It was, I believe it was $30, and I got it with a coupon, of course. It has different settings that you can change on here. I have it on 4, which is the hottest. I saw a lady last night doing a demo on this, and she was using her real iron, and she actually went over these letters with her iron. Don't do that with this little craft iron. It melts the HTV. So just a little word to the wise on that. I have seen other people say they use their embossing gun to put this stuff on, and I'm not sure how they do that. I suppose they heat it up and then burnish it. I would not think that would get it on well enough, but you're welcome to try that if you don't have an iron or a little craft iron. So anyway, all you do is just put your iron on there, and I try not to iron it back and forth too much until it's already adhered, because what you don't want to do is for that to shift and cause a crease. So you just kind of go and hold it. And with HTV, you can look at it and see when it's beginning to release. The glitter might be a little more difficult to tell. The white, you could really tell where the transfer tape was starting to lift from the vinyl itself. And again, be careful not to hit the letter if any of it is exposed. I have this exposed, so I'm trying very hard to be careful with that, not to hit that. Because again, it will burn it and melt it. And if you mess up, you can peel it off. It did leave a little bit of residue behind, and I just sanded that area again and wiped it back down with alcohol to start over again. All right, so we're going to see if this is coming off. Sometimes it's hard to get started with the transfer. So I'm peeling it back very slowly, because if it's lifting, you don't want to pull too hard. I'm not sure if you can see right there, it's lifting. So we're just going to just push it back down, let it fall where it was, and we're going to go over that area again. I know this is riveting entertainment for a Saturday night. So I'm just going to go over everything one more time. And you can see where it's melting the epoxy. It's okay though. It won't, I don't think it'll hurt anything. So let's try again. Alright, and see how easy it's coming off now. It's just, if you feel resistance sometimes, that popped up, but I'm okay with that for this moment. Alright, and then once I get it off, I usually put it back on there and then go over it again. You don't want any areas to be lifting, because when you put your epoxy on, the epoxy will get under that lifted area and it will cause it to float. So if you have this on your turner all night, you might come in tomorrow with the Y sticking out of your epoxy, and that's not a good feeling, especially when it's the last coat. Alright, so you just peel it right on up. And you check it to make sure there's no areas that are lifting at all. I do one more thing before I put the epoxy on, and that is I'll take a pillowcase and put it over. The pillowcase, this particular pillowcase, it does have like a print in it that's kind of raised. I'm not sure if that had anything to do with it, but don't leave it on too long because it will stick to it. Probably Teflon sheet would be best, but you can feel underneath where the vinyl is. I just kind of go over it again and just press it down. And that's it. That's how you put HTV on a tumbler. I'm going to move my light down to see if I can get this glitter to sparkle. I don't think it will on the camera, but it is very shiny. So anyway, I hope this helps. If anybody has any questions, as always, please feel free to message me or shoot me a note in the comments. Hope you're having a great weekend, and be safe.